It was smart business. The Trump base was hungry for content that validated their worldview, and they were willing to pay premium prices for books that would tell them what they want to hear. But Winning Team Publishing wasn't just a business venture, it was a relationship building exercise. It put Sergio Gor in regular contact with the Trump family, and it demonstrated his loyalty to the Trump brand. It also positioned him as someone who understood how to monetize Trump's political movement. And then came Right for America. Right for America was Sergio Gor's super PAC, and between 2020 and 2024, it raised an astonishing $72 million. $72 million. Some Senate campaigns don't come remotely close to that, but this fool, yeah, I said fool, raised $72 million. Do you realize that 40 million of that could actually prevent kids in America from dying of hunger, from starving, for them to be able to have food? And he raised $72 million. That's more money than some presidential campaigns raise. And what did Right for America do with that $72 million? Well, it spent it on one thing: attacking Joe Biden and promoting Donald Trump. And here's what's interesting about Right for America. Nobody really knows where all that money came from because, you see, super PACs are required to disclose their donors, but they're allowed to accept money from other organizations that don't have to disclose their donors. It's a shell game, and it makes it almost impossible to trace the ultimate source of political spending. So yeah, the bullshit was moving downhill. So when Sergio Gor Super PAC raised $72 million, we know that the money came from somewhere, but we don't know from where. We don't know if it came from American donors or foreign donors. So again, we get to be in this guessing game. We don't know if it came from individuals or corporations or governments. Yeah, namely Russia. What we do know is that $72 million bought Sergio Gor something more valuable than any political advertisement. It bought him access to Donald Trump. Yeah, because we know that, the orange one, the sweet potato Hitler, if you will, is transactional. So yeah, we get to sit in this friggin' mess because of this. And when Trump won the 2024 election, which personally I don't think he did, but okay, let's just say for this conversation, he won the election, Sergio Gor cashed in on that access. Now, you might expect that someone who had raised $72 million for Trump's campaign would want a high-profile cabinet position, Secretary of Commerce maybe, or ambassador to some important country, something that would put his name in the newspapers and his face on television. But Sergio didn't want a high-profile position. He wanted something more valuable. He wanted control. Specifically, he wanted to be the director of the Presidential Personnel Office. Now, that's what you call strategic. There are some military minds right now that are able to see what this is. And because of that, a lot of them are not only looking at it as tactical, they're looking at it as strategic, because that basically shows the malignant, mercenary tendencies that the people that sweet potato Hitler surrounds himself with. That's what this is. This is a different setup from Trump 1.0. This particular setup is designed to literally burn through any American that opposes this man, any American that is remotely following the United States Constitution. But I digress. Allow me to continue. I have a couple more points to hit before we're done with this video, so let me get to it. Now, if you've never heard of the Presidential Personnel Office, you're not alone. Because again, Americans, most of you figure life just happens around you. You get up, you get dressed, you have your coffee or tea or Coke or whatever. You get dressed, you go to work. And you go to work, which allows you to exist in a space that is not real. And that's a shame, because you do that to your detriment. Anyway, it's not a position that gets a lot of media attention. It's not a position that most Americans could even describe.